Are any of you guys interested in getting a corn snake and are not sure what the proper care guides are? Well, today I'm going to go over that in today's video. So feel free to stick around, everybody. And if you do love corn snakes, smash that like button. So let's go ahead and go over the pet care guide. Corn snakes have been around in the pet trade for many years, and they are widely regarded as one of the best starter pet snakes in the country. And now they've become so popular that there are like dozens of different corn snake morphs that have been produced in the reptile business here. And of course you guys know that I do own a couple of them. I own a ghost corn snake named Ariel and another smaller corn snake, a snow corn named Frosty. And I just absolutely love these snakes. They are just so awesome. And when I don't know how old I was, maybe 15 years old at the time, I actually had thought about my next pet snake would be a corn snake. And I thought to myself, like, why don't I, maybe plan to visit a reptile show somewhere here in my state and see if somebody is selling any baby corn snakes. And sure enough, I came across Ariel, and she was maybe about almost a year old when I purchased her. She wasn't that big, so she had to be maybe close to a year old. And I only purchased her for only $45 at the time. So corn snakes are, depending on what morph you're getting, a majority of them though are pretty cheap to get. Corn snakes are in the Colubridae family. That includes garter snakes, king snakes, milk snakes, rat snakes, water snakes, a few other species in that gene as well. Some people may not realize it too, but corn snakes are also a type of rat snake, which that includes Texas rat snakes, yellow rat snakes, Everglades rat snakes, Japanese rat snakes, Russian rat snakes. There's a variety of different species of rat snakes found throughout the world. But here in the United States, we have several different species of them. And corn snakes are referably known as the red rat snake because their main color on them is mostly red. But when it comes to corn snakes in captivity, there's a variety of different color morphs of them. But now, that being said, corn snakes get about a mid-range size colubrid to own. They average out about from 3 to about 5 foot long at max, and they are a super docile species to own. They're kind of like ball pythons, very docile, not the bitey type, even though they do move around a little bit more than ball pythons do, but they are easy to take care of. So cage requirement size for a baby corn snake, probably a 10-gallon to start with, because if it's only a hatchling, only a few months old, maybe actually, maybe let's do 15-gallon. That's a little bit larger. The first several months for a baby corn snake, maybe leave it in a 15-gallon tank, but as it gets larger, then you might want to upgrade it to 20-gallon terrarium within the next year and a half or two. After a few years, when your corn snake finally reaches maturity, very minimum size enclosure for an adult corn snake is a 20-gallon. However though, for example, my corn snake Ariel here, she is actually in a vertical skyscraper terrarium made by Zoom In. It's about 3 foot tall and about 18 inches wide and 18 inches long from the width and the length of the cage. So it's a very perfect setup, everybody, because corn snakes, just like other rat snake species, they are also known to be arboreal. Once in a while, they'll climb up trees to search for food or to take cover. And it's just super cool to actually witness my animal climb up the branch, whether it's during the day or at nighttime too. Because she kind of likes to perch up in her corner once in a while, because that's like her favorite spot to bask, where she can get enough heat into her body so she can get ready to move around throughout the day. It's kind of simple, Corn snakes, they don't need a giant cage. It's like 5 feet long, 6 foot long, and they don't need to take up an entire room. They don't. But unless you want to add them into a 40-gallon or gallon tank or more, then maybe it might take up half the room. But anyway, yeah, cage size, it's not too shabby for a beginner pet snake. Now, corn snakes, when they're in the wild, when they're searching for prey, they usually are known to be more like ambush predators, just like crocodilians and some species of lizards. When it comes to food, corn snakes, just like other rat snake species, are primarily rodent eaters and normally prey on rats and mice. But in captivity though, a lot of people feed them frozen thawed mice because there's a lot of nutrition in them and not as much fat, unlike rats do. Now, there is a chance though. It depends on what size of rodent your size. Now, if you guys, let's say, get a baby corn snake for it's probably a good idea to offer it frozen thawed pinky mice, which are newborn mice that have no hair on them. I'll actually show you a clip right here of me feeding my guy Frosty here as a demonstration. So it really just depends on the size of your pet corn snake here. Now, obviously in the wild, they won't be just eating rodents. They actually have been seen at times eating bird eggs as well, but the primary diet in captivity is mice. So, and the reason a lot of breeders and pet care owners like me that don't feed them frozen rats is because rats contain fat in them, and any animal that has fat in it is usually not that good to eat. So, that's primary why we prefer mice over rats, because rats have fat and mice not a whole lot of it and have more nutrition. And so now, when it comes to the timing to feeding your pet corn snake, everybody, for a baby corn snake, it's a good idea to offer a meal once every 7 days. And for a subadult corn snake, probably about 10 days, and a full-grown adult every 14 days. For example, my girl Ariel, my big corn snake, I offer her a meal every 14 days because I want to actually make sure she maintains a healthy feeding schedule, and I'm not trying to overfeed her so much. And if I overfeed her, there is that risk of my animal getting obese, and she could seriously pass away from obesity, and that can reduce her lifespan, and that would be really, really bad for owning a pet snake if that were to happen. So it's a good idea to have a feeding schedule for your pet snakes, because they're not like cats or dogs where you have to feed them every single day. So if you own a pet snake, don't worry about feeding it daily, everybody. There's literally a lot of articles on pet care guides also to taking care of other species of snakes too that can help you out to figure out when's a good time to feed it, what you should feed it, and other important tips there to care for your pet reptile. So hopefully you guys now understand on what you should feed your pet corn snake. Now let's say you got your corn snake's enclosure already and you got the animal, but now you want to actually figure out what kind of bedding you want to add. The truth is that there are a few different types of bedding you can add. You could add like cocoa fiber bedding, aspen chip bedding, or regular aspen as well. But one bedding I definitely recommend avoiding is sand, because a lot of times when some reptiles are being fed and they have sand for bedding, a lot of that sand can get ingested when it's actually eating its food here. That includes some species of lizards as well. So with snakes like corn snakes, I would definitely recommend using aspen chip bedding, because it's literally easy to clean up after your animal when it goes to the bathroom, and also it's a lot easy to actually change out your snake's bedding as well. A majority of the time though, I do use Reptile Prime cocoa fiber bedding. I'll leave the link in the description for you guys to go ahead and check that out if you guys want to get yourself some cocoa fiber bedding. That's what I use for Ariel's enclosure down here as well, because it's it's dry free, and it's also the easy to clean up as well. It's not like Jungle Mix, or if it's like Zoo Med's Eco Earth, where it's super loose and it just goes all over the place as you're trying to clean it up. So with that's just a really cool, awesome bedding, everybody. Literally from day one since I switched over to Reptile Prime bedding, it has been amazing. It really is awesome to have on hand here. So, but like I said, there's a few other options out there for you if you guys want to check them out as well. A little reminder though, definitely try to avoid sand, because yeah, sand is just not something you would see corn snakes moving in the wild. I forgot to mention one more thing, everybody. If you do get a corn snake, well, like I said, if this goes for every pet reptile you get. The next thing that's important too is lighting. Now, when it comes to corn snakes, everybody, corn snakes actually are both active during the day and at nighttime, but you might see them a little bit more towards the nighttime hours, where it's actually a little bit more quiet, and some of their prey items do come out at night as well. So when it comes to lighting though, here everybody, I kind of like to have some domes here, which is what I use for all of my snake and terrariums here. And I actually use daylight bulbs here to usually leave them on for about 10 to maybe 12 hours throughout the day. If there are any questions that any of you guys want to ask me in the comments down below about the caring for corn snakes, don't be afraid to do that, everybody, because that's what really this channel is focused on now. It's actually on like educating people about reptiles, the care guides for certain types of them, and also later on this year, since we're now into the month of April, we're going to be going out and doing a few herping adventures here, hopefully within the next month or two. Hopefully we can actually spot some of the reptiles and amphibians that we can search for. So I'm going to go ahead and conclude this video, everybody. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.